Hello everyone, I am Dr. Bhavna Agarwal, aesthetic dermatologist, beauty psychologist and a facial aesthetic consultant. And my channel is exclusively dedicated to the new aesthetic injectors or doctors who are getting started with their aesthetic practice. Now, as a beginner, what I have seen and what I have experienced is that there is a lot of confusion regarding which technology to invest in or where to, which brand to go with and how to, get started with technology, because some technologies come with huge investments. And unless until we know that how much that is in demand, it is better to first have a good understanding of what your USP is going to be. So aesthetic practice, as you know, is major contributors to your aesthetic practice would be non anti-aging treatments or skin rejuvenation or facial rejuvenation or facelifts, stuff like that. And to cater to these concerns, we have non-invasive technologies like HIFU, Thermage, Altera, microneedling, RF, etc. And then we have some injectables, which is like Botox and dermal fillers. And to clear this confusion, like how to go about. So first thing is to understand how aging is happening, and then only you can be clear, have clarity about how to invest for anti-aging treatments and procedures. So to have a basic understanding, our face is made of different layers, so starting from the skin, which is the epidermis and the dermis, followed by the subcutaneous fat, followed by the mass, then followed by the deep fat, the muscles and the bone. Now all these layers are aging in their own specific ways. The bone, in bone there is bone resorption going on, the muscles are losing tone, they're losing collagen, this mass, of course, it's losing collagen. There is musculoepineuritic fatigue, which means that there is loosening of the fascia also to an extent. And all this can be contributed to collagen deficit and elastin deficit and hyaluronic deficit. So also the superficial fat, which is altered by your lifestyle, your exercise, your gymming routine and your dieting routine also, and your basic lifestyle that you follow. So there are multiple factors which are contributing to the superficial fat deflation or volume loss or volume gain sometimes also. And then of course there's a skin. So skin is basically going through all the intrinsic aging factors, it's facing all the extrinsic aging factors, and to add it to the skin's plight, the layers, the aging of all the underlying layers is getting reflected onto the face. So either it could be the skin and or it could be the face. So all the levels are the aging at all the levels is getting reflected on the surface. The signs of aging are becoming on the surface of the skin on your face, which is visible externally. So when we go about planning an anti-aging treatment, the first thing you should know is that we are visual beings. We trust when we see things, we believe when we can see something, and our visual sense contributes to a lot in how we think, believe and trust. So if we know that all the signs of aging, maximum signs of aging of the underlying layers as well as its own, are reflected on the face, so whatever technology you invest in, make sure that it caters to the surface improvement first. So to have an understanding, when we talk of non-invasive treatments like HIFU, Thermage, Altera and RF microneedling, so among these, the only treatment which will have a good effect of toning, lifting, tightening of the skin, of the epidermis as well as the dermis, is the RF treatment, or which could be monopolar, bipolar, or it could be RF microneedling, which will give you a good improvement in the surface, on the surface. So your maximum treatments should be targeted, or the maximum amount of treatments that you can plan for a face should be catering to the changes which are happening on the surface. Now there is HIFU, which definitely works, but it does not work on the surface. There is Thermage, which works. HIFU can go up to SMAS also. It can cause SMAS tightening also. But the problem with HIFU is that the results which are minimal, I mean there were mild results which are which you can appreciate over a time span of 2 months. So someone, I mean, I don't think many people have that eye for detail, that they would appreciate a minor change over a span of 2 months. And which is why HIFU is not something which I would recommend to a beginner. When you have established your practice, when people trust you blindly, that is a time you can invest in that technology. But initially, to start off with your practice, you need to develop trust among people, and that you can do only if you do treatments which are showing obvious results in the mirror, and which are which for which people are getting appreciated by their friends and family around. So although the technology is good, but how practical it is for a new aesthetic practitioner, and how helpful that technology will be to establishing your practice, that is something you need to put your mind while you start your practice. So then there is thermage, which again goes deeper. And then there are other various technologies, but most of them do not work on the surface. So what you need in the beginning, in the initial stages or initial 1-2 years, is to establish authority, which again I said will be possible only if you give visible results. The other technologies are all expensive also. There is a lot of investments also, and since they're not giving very obvious and visible results, although they are very good technologies, but the results which cannot be appreciated in the mirror, it can put a question mark on your expertise as a beginner. So once you're established, people will trust you blindly. They won't judge you, and they will trust you. So if you have that kind of rapport, then definitely invest into that technology. But if not, then begin with procedures which are showing more of surface changes, more of surface improvements. And believe me, there are a lot of good technology. So when it comes to injectable, this was about energy based devices. Now when it comes to injectables, the thing is that the only technology, that is the only tool which can help you cater to anti-aging at all the levels, but at the same time it demands a lot of skill from you. So a lot of training and a lot of skill at your end to be able to give the results with injectables. So at the skin, we can give good hydration. With the bone resorption, Voluma is the only product, or and fillers like Voluma, they are the only product which can improve and give an illusion of an improved bone remodeling. They can compensate for bone resorption. And then of course there are softer fillers which can deal with the smash, which can deal under the smash, over the smash, and stuff like that. So injectables are the only tools which can help you deal with the aging at all the levels, and Botox for superficial wrinkling also. So but then again, it demands a lot of skill at your end. So I hope this helps. If you have any question, if you have any doubts after this, and if you want to know go into the details of how various technologies work and which level each technology is catering to, do drop in a comment and I'll be happy to answer.